Hi guys, hope you're well. So today we're looking at one of my first ranked Empire Wars games. So for those of you who have started playing on the Empire Wars ranked ladder, you'll know that you generally get matched up against people from a varying skill difference, because pretty much everyone's starting at the same elo level with the new ranked ladder. So it's going to take a little while to even itself out. So you know, one game you could be playing against someone 300 elo higher than you. Another game you could be playing against someone 300 elo lower than you. So yeah, we're kind of on the difficult end of it in this game. So yeah, we're actually playing against someone who's about 300 to 400 elo higher than me. So pretty difficult to say the least. But basically what I was doing with this particular set of games that I was doing at this time was just testing out the Saracens Scouts into Knights or Camels build order, which you can find on the channel. I'll leave a link to it at the end, so you can watch it after this one. It's quite a good one. Normally it hits the castle age at about 8 minutes in comparison to a normal sort of scout build, which will hit castle age at around 10 to 11 minutes on average, from what I can see anyway. So the opponent's playing as Chinese, and as you can see, he's done a scout opening as well, which is kind of what I was expecting, and I'm sure you'll all agree that scouts appears to be the meta. Certainly seems to be the way people are playing Empire Wars at the moment. So he's come forward early. I mean, he's got his scouts kind of dotted around all over the place, and to be honest, he's just making me chase him around, which is, you know, probably the right thing to do. I mean, I've got these three probably didn't need to go chasing after. They could have either gone forward and attacked themselves or come back and defended, but at this point he's starting to group all of his scouts together, and another one's coming in at the edge of the base here as well, starting to get them all grouped together. And as you can see, he's getting the first armor upgrade in as well. So the standard meta is basically go scouts, get your upgrades, and try and cause as much damage as you can. Now, I'm not very good on meadow. It's too open for me. It's way too open for me. And as you can see, you only have this one wood line, so you really need to be able to protect it, because it's very, very open, very vulnerable. You can't get back to your town centre to protect. So you kind of want to do what he's done here and just wall all your villages in around the wood, rather than perhaps trying to wall the full base like I'm doing here. Ideally you'd want to try and wall up fully, but yeah, perhaps not so good. Now again, just making me waste some time, and I need to stop doing this. I should have just let him run off there, or at least just sent the weaker scout to attack and brought the other one back, because down here, all this little group of scouts that I had have now died because he's got both upgrades. And well, I've got a little bit of a hill advantage, so I still die, but I'm pretty much walled up at this point. That end is almost walled. Just having to quick wall around there. Finally decided to bring those scouts back home to try and protect myself. Didn't realise there was a hole here, which was very disappointing to say the least. And I think I do lose a couple of villagers at this point, especially as I've not really reacted to any of this. But it's not really a huge amount I could have done other than try and attack back, which I probably should have done instead of just letting two villagers die miserable, horrible deaths. But now I know that hole's there, just getting that walled up. There's another hole there. There's always a hole. There's always a hole. I mean, the only other option it would have done, had I walled that up, still not done it, would be to come down here past the town centre, which would have been pretty difficult for him. But as you can see, we are on the way up to the castle age. A little bit later than ordinarily, because of all of this aggression that I'm having to withstand, and I'm trying to avoid him. I'm just trying to run around the mill, but I do manage to escape. I don't think we lose any. I try and attack a little bit there as well. I figured we've got the hill advantage. We'll just attack a little bit with the villagers. I knew that they were fairly weak as well. I've got spearmen there now to protect me a little bit. Yeah, they're not really that much of a threat now, so I'm quite happy with that. But Castle Age will be in a minute. As you can see, we've got the second stable down, plenty on gold, a good amount on food as well, and we're going to be able to start ramping up production as soon as we hit the castle age. So yeah, feeling quite happy in that respect. At this point, we've been able to get a decent lead and hopefully be able to take advantage of the little power spike that we are going to have. I'm not sure where he's going, just going for a little stroll in the glorious meadows of the map. There we are, we've reached the castle age. We've got camels coming out. We've got all the upgrades from the feudal age, and now we've got chain bonding armor coming in as well. As you can see, he's going to be not reaching the castle age for another minute and a half yet. So yeah, generally you do get a 2 to 3 minute little advantage where you can get your upgrades in, get a little massive troops together, and go on the attack. Now my idle eco is just abysmal, but again I think that's just purely because I've still got a little bit of aggro happening. I managed to pick off a villager he sent forward to build an outpost, but at this point I think I was just getting a bit frustrated that these are still running around my base, so I figured, right, one of the camels can go in, take him out, I'll take them out, just because they're doing my head in. They're just annoying me. They're like little annoying moths that are just fluttering around your light bulb all the time. But managed to get rid of those, send the camels out, and as you can see we've almost got full upgrades. We just need the second attack upgrade. Not got husbandry yet, but we just need that second attack upgrade. But red players now hit the castle age at 11.5 minutes. So yeah, we were about 2.5 minutes ahead of him from hitting the castle age. So that was good. Pleased with that. We've got a decent amount of camels. He's just got a few spearmen, which because of all the upgrades I've got should be okay. As you can see, the iron casting upgrade is coming in now as well. So I should be able to take advantage of that. Kill off all of these. I think if I'd been playing up against a player who was perhaps a knight only serf, didn't have camels, I think I'd do well in this situation. I think I'd be able to really get a good foothold on the game and take advantage. I don't know why I made knights, having seen that he's gone for camels. That's a bit silly. But never mind. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, I've got quite a good lead militarily. We've got 4 versus 12. Again, time wasting. Making me waste time. Should have brought them back. Just gone in, started raiding the eco. Could have, really taken advantage of these open areas that he's got, and perhaps took him off with gold there. Instead, I am chasing around the map with 7 camels against 3, and I'm actually losing what other army I've got here as well. So, kind of giving him the opportunity, and this is where the skill difference comes in. I think this is where you can tell that this guy's a better player than me because he's not doing stupid stuff like I'm doing. But it's quite interesting to see, actually. It's really highlighted to me that I do this way too often. So I need to stop doing it. And perhaps just go on the attack instead. But again, I've still got a big villager, military lead. In terms of villager numbers, we're actually even. Because he's had a lot of TC idle time. So he's obviously just a bit more bothered about going and trying to invest in military. I think because he knows I've got more troops than him, he wants to just try and do what he can to try and get a bit of an advantage. So he's probably investing more into troops than he perhaps needed to. Don't know if it's a case of it perhaps more than he needed to. I think he probably had to, because he would have been raided otherwise. But he's on 3 town centres, so I've got 2. So if he was constantly producing, he'd have a massive eco lead. Let's be honest. Monastery coming down for him now. So with Meadow, as you can see, all the relics are in the middle of the map there. So it's really going to be a good map for Lithuanians, I believe, who can obviously pick up all those relics quite easily, providing you've got some troops to protect. If you just send 3 or 4, I mean, to be fair, you only need 4 monks to go forward and get those, but also makes it easier for the opponent to pick them up as well. So that was kind of like a game losing engagement there by me in some respects. I've lost a lot of troops there that I shouldn't have lost. Looks as though he switched over to villager production a little bit because he's sort of pulled away now with villager numbers. I tried to go on a little raid, didn't really achieve much, so I figured I'd bring him back. But at this point I should probably be looking at making a switch in my army composition and perhaps going for cav archers. I think that's probably what I should have done at this point, or do what I do way later on and get some siege down and start getting scorpions out. Basically left it way too late to make any sort of switch, and again I think that's what cost me here, because I knew he was going heavily into camels, heavily into pikemen, the same as I am, so could have done with making a switch. Definitely could have done with making a switch, and certainly something that causes pierce damage would have been better. So cav archers or the scorpions. As I say, probably cav archers would have been a better option just for the mobility that you get with them, and better raiding ability. But yeah, I didn't do it, and there's a bit of a mistake on my part. But I think overall, considering this player is 400 elo higher than me, or 300 or 400 elo higher than me, I'm doing all right. I'm quite pleased with how it was going. Finally getting my third town centre down, and starting to keep building the economy. It's only got a 4 villager lead, 3 villager lead now, and yeah, not going too bad. But the military numbers are just too different now. I've probably got more pikemen than he has, so perhaps I would be able to take out the vast majority of his camels. But yeah, I mean the monks are going to be a little bit of a hindrance for sure. I'm going to lose a camel there, so he's going to get a conversion. That's going to be frustrating to say the least. Did lose a few pikemen of his own though. He's only really got, well, there we go, it's got some more pikemen to back him up. So I think I decided to just go more into pikemen than camels, because the pikemen would easily kill off the camels, but also stand toe to toe with the enemy pikemen. That was my thinking here. So just add, keep creating more and more pikemen. Made a monastery. I think that was just to try and get these relics and to try and heal my troops up a little bit, but probably didn't need to do that. But as you can see, the enemy has got nearly, well, about 14 minutes idle time in this town centre, which was a little bad actually, considering that he's 1600 player. Yeah, it's pretty bad. So I was toying with the idea of trying to go in and do a little bit of a raid, but decided against it and just thought I'd come back, play a little bit more defensively, try and get healed up. That's what I was doing. But he followed me. He followed me, and then I ended up in trouble. And at this point, I'm going to lose all my army. Going to lose all the army. The monks are there just getting conversions. They're doing a bit of healing, and you can see my military numbers just dwindling fast. And that was the game end, essentially. I should have GG'd right there. My idle eco has been ridiculous, nearly an hour. Still never, did I? Oh no, there's no hole there. I thought I was just going to say never sorted the hole out, but yeah, my eco is not good. Just getting too distracted on the on this attack there, but finally deciding to do a switch into scorpions, but ridiculously late to do any switch. It was about 10 minutes late. I should have done that a long time ago. Made a switch. I certainly think, as I say, if I'd have gone for cav archers or gone for the scorpions a lot sooner, would have been well, perhaps not a different story, but it would have gone better, let's put it that way. And now he's coming forward. He's going to bring quite a lot of villagers forward there. Let's have a look how many there are, if I can. Oops, stop moving. 16 villagers. It's like quite a big chunk of his economy, and the castle's coming down. Interestingly enough, I've actually got a villager lead, 4 villager lead now, due to his idle town centres. So at least my town centres have been working a little bit better than his. But yeah, at this point I was trying to use the scorpions to kill the villagers, which I think was a mistake. Probably, I don't know. I mean, they still would have been causing the enemy damage, but it's a bit of a pointless exercise, if I'm honest. It was GG a little while ago, as soon as I lost all of those troops in the middle there. And as you can see, he's going to be able to get into the base. He's going to go and take my stone now as well, just so he can start really stamping on me like the bug that I am. And yeah, it's not going well. This is GG. Massive village lead though, 97 for 86, but yeah, perhaps I just needed more army. I needed to do something, and it's quite a common mistake from me. But yeah, I think overall though, I don't think you could tell there was such a big difference in elo between the two of us. I felt as though the build order went pretty well, which it has, and I've actually played 8 games with it now, won 6, lost 2, this being one of those losses. So yeah, pretty good build order. Do catch it here on the screen now, and I'll see you on the next one.